Welcome to the Maker Kitchen at the Northeast Regional Library. I'm MK Eagle, and today, as part of Books Brews 502, we're cooking with beer. Books Brews 502 is the Louisville Free Public Library's adult winter reading program. From December 1st to February 28th, you can earn points by reading books, attending virtual events, and supporting local breweries and coffee shops. The more points you have, the more prizes you can win. Today we're cooking with mussels. Mussels are perfect for cooking with beer because they absorb any flavor that you put in with them. So today we're actually going to try two different preparations. If you've never cooked with mussels before, it might seem a little intimidating, but don't worry. When you buy them, they usually come pretty clean and very fresh. You do want to rinse them all in cold water, maybe give them a good scrub to get any residual grit because we are going to be cooking them in the shell. And look out for any of what's called the beard. They're usually debearded already, but sometimes there's a little bit of that hairy appendage there, but if you slide it all the way down to the hinge, you can usually get that removed. You may also need to use some kitchen scissors to snip it off. To prepare today's two dishes, you'll need flat leaf parsley, bell pepper, lime, cilantro, a good crusty bread, 2 shallots, some chorizo or another meat of your choice, ginger, garlic, hot pepper, coconut milk, olive oil, a little curry powder, and of course, your beers. Today we'll be using Hop Static by West 6, which now has a tap room in Nulu, and a blonde ale from Great Flood with 2 tap rooms in Louisville. I chose these two because they're going to give us a very different flavor profile. The blonde is going to be for our more Indian-inspired recipe with some really strong, assertive flavors. The hoppier Hop Static here is going to be for our more Spanish-inspired, and it's going to play well off of the chorizo and the parsley that we use there. Let's start with our bread. For this part, we're going to use a grill pan, which I highly recommend even if you have access to an outdoor grill. It's great to be able to grill inside in February. We're going to get it hot and give it a good, generous spray. I also like to rub my bread with a little garlic. I'll basically just chop the tops off of those little tiny ones in the inside of the clove that can be really hard to get to. And just a good rub on each surface. Once that pan is nice and hot, go ahead and lay a few pieces of bread down. We're looking to get those nice dark grill marks for a nice crunchy bread we can dip into our mussels and broth later. While those are working, I'm going to throw a little olive oil into each of these pans. We are going to be using the shallots in both. You can use another kind of onion. I happen to prefer shallots. I like a nice, pretty fine dice on these. Keep them small so that you get a few in each bite. You can always test to see if your oil is hot enough by dropping a little shallot. If it doesn't sizzle, it's not hot enough. But we are getting a nice sizzle in both pans, so I'll go ahead and divide my shallots between the two. After the shallots, we can throw in our garlic. And we'll throw our ginger into one pan. So everyone's making friends in the pot now. See my mixture starting to sizzle and come together. Not forgetting about my bread because we don't want to burn. And now I'll throw in a little chorizo. I've done a pretty chunky dice on the chorizo, and I do prefer a dry salami or chorizo in this preparation so that it retains some of its texture after you cook it in the liquid. You can go with a ground chorizo or a ground meat. I just think it ends up a little bit softer in the finished product. One thing I love about both of these recipes is how much good color you get. We're going to start getting a little bit of an orange hue from the chorizo and as the oils get released. And of course, we've got the nice bell pepper and ginger working on the coconut curry version. Time to throw in our peppers and a precarious lime. We're going to only add half of our herbs now because they are going to cook in liquid. I like to add some fresh on top at the end. You get more of the flavors of the fresh herb there. We'll throw our half of our cilantro in for the coconut curry version and parsley in for our Spanish inspired. All right, time to add our coconut milk. I went with light because we're already throwing a lot of other stuff at these mussels, but you can certainly go with a full fat coconut milk. All right. It is beer time. As a reminder, we're going with the hoppier beer from West 6 here with our Spanish preparation. It's going to stand up really well to the chorizo. And going with the blonde ale for our coconut curry. Can't have a curry without curry powder. Give that a generous shake. I like a little heat, so we're going to add some red pepper flakes to that as well. The Spanish version already has the chorizo for a little bit of spice, so I think I'll hold off on that one. But just a little bit of black pepper in both. Good stir. And as these are coming back up to a boil, we're going to go ahead and add our mussels. Again, these are cooking in the shell, so you just drop them right in. All right, at this point, we're going to cover both pots so that they continue to steam as they cook. Keep my bread from burning too much on this side. All right, so it's only going to take us 5-7 minutes, depending on your heat source, to steam these open. And that's what you're looking for, is when all of your mussels have reopened. They close in their shells as a defense mechanism, and then when they cook, they open up again. If any of them refuse to close when you clean them with a little cold water or a thump on the shell, that guy's not alive. Toss them, don't even bother cooking. But anybody who doesn't open fully in the cooking process, don't bother with that one. You also want to look out for any that seem unusually light or heavy for their size. That could mean that they're dead or that there's extra sand and grit in there. All right, let's take a look at our friends. Ah, yes. You can see shells have opened up. Both pots. And now we are ready to serve. Definitely want a ladle. Don't lose any of those delicious juices. Make sure you dig deep in this one so you get some of that good chorizo from the bottom. I mentioned I like to add some fresh herbs before serving. As well as just a squeeze of lime over our coconut curry. Wouldn't hurt the other one either, but I like it on the coconut curry. And now we're ready to eat. Don't forget to log this as a virtual program in Beanstack for your 50 points for Books and Brews 502. Thanks for watching.